Let's talk about parenting schedules, parenting plans, the things that go into that. What needs to be done when coming up with this? Oftentimes people come to me with some ideas or goals. They'll say, hey, I want 50-50 parenting time. And when I say, well, what does that mean? They say equal parenting time. And I say, well, I understand what 50-50 means, but what specifically do you want that schedule to look like? And sometimes people haven't even thought about it. So here, I'm going to try and give you some ideas of what you should be doing when creating that schedule. The very first thing you got to do is, what are the existing schedules? Do you have to wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning to get to work? Does your spouse? When you have situations like this, where you have to wake up very early just to get to work, having an overnight parenting time during that period is near impossible. We're not going to wake kids up at 4 o'clock in the morning just so that one parent can have overnight parenting time. So we have to look at realistically, what are the existing schedules? Your work schedule, your spouse's work schedule, your kid's schedule. What time do they have to get on the bus? What time do they get off the bus? What do they have after school? Who can be there when we need them to be there? So you have to really start first with the schedules, and then we can work based on that. We've got a parenting plan in place, but now the other side's not going along with that plan. What do we do? Well, the very first thing we need to do is we need to identify how serious is this violation. Now, sometimes people come in and they'll say they're constantly 10 minutes late. And I say, I understand, and trust me, I get it. But do you want to go back to court and fight hours and hours over 10 minutes? It might be worth it, it might not. What do you do if they're just really violating the terms? Well, in Illinois, there's a thing that we call a petition for rule to show cause for a finding of indirect civil contempt. Just shorten that all down to petition for rule. Basically, what you're going to do is you're going to go into court and you're going to say, hey, judge, this is what they were supposed to do. They are not doing this. Make them do it. Now, we can't go back in time and undo what was already done. So what we have to try and figure out is, what can we do going forward? Some of the worst things that I've ever seen is when a parent just blatantly violates holiday parenting time. I've seen kids just taken from the other side on Christmas morning. And you know what? No matter what we say or do, you will never get Christmas morning back with an 8-year-old child. We could try make-up time next year, but we can't do it. So based upon the situations, you need a legal team that can give you some sort of options to make this not happen again. So it's important that you know what those options are. And if you have questions, give us a call. All right, let's talk parental alienation. Now, I'll say that this can be brought up from time to time, and sometimes it's overstated, but sometimes it's very serious. And this is one of those things of, is a child just being upset with a parent because they were being disciplined? Are they going through some teenage issues? What is the true cause and root of this? And parental alienation is something that needs to be taken seriously, but it's not easy to fix. In other words, if you got one parent that is planting seeds of hatred and doubt towards the other parent, well, you can't just undo that by saying, stop it. You have to actually take some action. You got to get them into court. You're going to need to get them into therapy quickly, because the longer this goes on, the harder it is to undo. So it's really important that you have a lawyer that understands what's going on, that can file the right motions and get you in front of a judge quickly so that you can get therapy going, because this is going to be a long process and it may not be your fault. Okay. But the reality is you're now in this situation and you need to understand it's going to take time to get out of it. Let's talk about successful co-parenting. Some of the biggest success stories that I've seen come from people that recognize we are no longer married. We don't have to agree on everything. Focus on the big picture things. Let the little things go. The other thing I got to tell you is give yourself some time. I know that in this world of instant communication, we instantly want to tell the other side what we're thinking, but sit on it, sleep on it. You don't have to instantly tell the other side what you think in the moment unless it's really, really serious. But I find that if you can take a moment, catch a breath, think about what you want to say, it's going to go a long way. The other thing I'd recommend is anytime you can have verbal communication over text or email, it's so much better. Have verbal conversations and then memorialize in email or text. Because let's face it, in this world, People read negative things in text all the time. You may say the most innocent thing in text, and your spouse is going to take it the wrong way. Pick up the phone, have a conversation, then put it in an email or text. Hey, memorializing what we agreed upon in that call. It can go a long way. Creating a proper parenting plan. It's not hard, but it's not easy. It's really important that you have an experienced team that understands what goes into it. They also understand what you want and what your unique needs are. And in our office, we have a comprehensive process to understand what you want so we can create the plan for you.